When I was a kid, my mom would get so upset if me or my siblings were behaving in a way that she considered was being a follower. And she wasn't talking about like wanting to dress in a trendy way or listen to popular music. She was more so referring to the direct influence of our friends and classmates. Like, so and so has three Tamagotchis. I want another one too. Or so and so decorated their room in this way. I want to do mine like that too. It really bugged her when we did things like that because she felt that it was sort of training us to see ourselves as second fiddle and that our friends were the decision makers, the trendsetters, the ones on a pedestal that we needed to follow suit with. Sometimes her accusations were completely unfounded and it was just coincidence that we liked or wanted the same thing, but other times she was completely correct. I think the higher you have the trait of being eager to please, the more likely you are to be susceptible to this. It's sort of a way to let people know how much you like them, since imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. She taught us very early on that you absolutely do not have to imitate someone just because you like them or the thing they have or do. That lesson planted such a big seed in my life because it set the stage for me to learn to be self directed. What it did was it helped me get a firm grasp on decentering the likes and opinions and styles and methods of other people, even people that I admired and respected, so I could continue forging my own path. I can't even begin to stress how much of an impact that has had on my life. Being self directed is when you're able to make your own decisions rather than needing other people to tell you what to do or always letting other people's interjections dictate your next move. Being self directed is one of the core reasons that I have as much confidence as I do, such high self esteem, such high faith in myself and my choices. It's why I'm able to make so many choices completely by myself without running them by anyone else or looking for feedback. There's tons of things I have done in the past and am currently working on that I haven't told anyone I know about, and I don't announce it until it's complete. Sometimes I don't announce it at all, even upon completion, because I really am not looking for feedback or validation in any way. My own pleasure from its completion is enough. My own attention to the project is enough attention. When it comes to my solo endeavors, no one's opinion is more important than my own, and I don't let other people into the car if I don't need their assistance to drive it. We can meet up at the destination, but I'd prefer to drive alone when possible, if that makes sense. I can formulate an idea on my own, start it, I can decide that I want to quit it and start something new, all on my own, simply by trusting my own capabilities and following my personal desires. I'm not asking other people to give me permission to make moves in my own life. I don't need someone to agree that they like my decision before I do it. In order to develop this skill, you must first remember that your life is your own and no one else asks for your permission before they take every step in their day, so you don't need to either. You don't have to wait until something is trendy or has gotten a stamp of approval from the cool kids. You don't have to wait until your mom validates you or your boyfriend validates you or your friends either. You coming up with an idea and simply wanting to do it should be enough. If you have enough sense to, not lead yourself to destruction, then you should be able to generally move through life without someone holding your hands at all times. This could be for big things like someone telling you what career to go after, even though that's not your true passion, or even for small things like waiting to form an opinion on something until you see what the comment section is telling you to think. Failure to learn self directed behaviors would mean that you never truly get to be the driver of your life. You'll end up stunted because you don't possess that leadership towards yourself. You will easily be swayed by everyone's input, going back and forth depending on who you're talking to. You'll struggle to put your foot down or stand up for yourself and your decisions. There is great power in being able to shut someone down when they're overstepping and letting them know, hey, I got it. I'm doing what I'm going to do, and you can do what you're going to do, and that's the end of that. How many people are studying a field they barely care about, all because it's what their parents want? Yet their parents aren't the ones straddled with the workload or day to day struggles that come with it. How many mama's boys run great women out of their lives because they're living by their mother's wishes instead of their own, you know? I know it's easier said than done when it comes to kicking people out of your metaphorical car and locking the doors before driving on your own. especially if the people who keep grabbing the steering wheel are people that you love or are under the care of, like your parents. Maybe they still fund your life at your young age, and you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you or cause strife in your relationship. I get it. And I'm not telling you to rebel or start acting crazy, but there is a way to respectfully let people know that no matter what, the fact of the matter is that you need to live your life for yourself because it is your life and they already have theirs. You have your own choices to make and path to take, and there's nothing defiant about acknowledging that. Anyone who has a problem with that is someone who will definitely end up being a big problem in your future if you don't nip it in the bud pronto. It's this sort of ownership that they feel that they have over you. It's them thinking that they are the one that's on the pedestal and you are supposed to be second fiddle. So, when you take the time to really get to know yourself and become really in tune with what you want, what you like, what makes you happy, what brings you satisfaction and pride in life, things like that, it's way easier to be self directed. If you don't know yourself well on that deep level, then naturally there's not much to direct in the first place. I don't need someone to create a map to walk through the woods because I already know these woods well, the woods being myself. I know where to go and what to avoid on my own. But if you don't know, then yeah, I can see why you always rely on others to give you a bunch of maps. So if you feel like you lack a strong sense of self direction and struggle to do things without the validation or input of others, consider whether or not you can even answer questions such as what you want, what you like, what makes you happy, what brings you satisfaction and pride in life, and other things like that. I can say from experience that as a teenager, before I could answer those questions, I was very stunted in that regard and needed a ton of handholding. But when I made a conscious effort to really get to know myself, my goals, my aspirations, my strengths and weaknesses, and most importantly, what I truly want, then that's when it all came together and the ball got rolling. This is a type of independence that doesn't get talked about much. People only think about money and having your own car, own apartment, paying your own bills. But what about the independent mindset? I think this is incredibly important to have, and it will take you very far when you have it. So, with that being said, I hope this video has given you something to think about and consider reflecting on where you are right now and how you can make changes to become more self directed. Bye!